Teachers, you don't need another classroom behavior chart, tracker, or token system. You need a plan, a real one. In this video, I am breaking down 5 proactive moves that will prevent 90% of your classroom behavior issues before they even start. Here's the trap a lot of teachers fall into. We spend a lot of our time and energy reacting to misbehavior and not nearly enough time designing systems that make the behavior less likely. Proactive classroom management means that you have taken the time to think about each chunk of your day, and within those chunks are moments that need to take place. Those moments need to be thought out and written down. What does it sound like, feel like, and look like? So instead of waiting for problems to occur, you've already built that prevention into your day. Let's talk about 5 proactive ways for you to do just that. Interestingly, number 4 may be more familiar than you think. Proactive move number 1, design the experience. We are so eager at the beginning of the year to start marking tasks off of our list that sometimes we jump straight into rules and expectations without considering how we want our day to actually flow. Teachers are the architect of the learning environment. We have to be intentional with not just what happens in the classroom, but how. Before we talk to kids about what to do, ask yourself this: what do I want this moment to feel like? What should students be doing before and after this? And where's the friction point, like transitions, distributing materials, or getting your students' attention? So here's an action step. Pick one part of your day where things actually fall apart. It could be your small group transitions, your bathroom breaks, dismissal time, or even arrival. Now reverse engineer it. That simply means you break it down, see how it works, and make improvements. So consider this: what's the goal? What are the step by step motions within that routine? And how will students know that they are successful? So, for example, my goal was to establish a structured arrival routine that helps students to transition smoothly into a learning mindset. Students are allowed to eat breakfast in the classroom during arrival. This was tricky because students trickle in at different times, so this made it essential to create a routine that supported both groups. To build that structure, I introduced a 2-part arrival routine. Students who did not need breakfast were expected to unpack, gather materials, and begin a quiet writing and drawing activity. Those who were eating breakfast did so quietly at their desk. If they finished with time remaining, they would join the arrival activity as well. This approach created a calm and purposeful start of the day. It allows students to settle in with a meaningful task, set a clear expectation, and establish a consistent tone for learning from the moment they walk in. This is how you go from reactive to intentional. You are now directing energy that produces results and a productive flow. Proactive move number 2. Use routines as behavior anchors. Routines give students something to lean on when their emotions are high or their attention is low. They create predictability, consistency, and a sense of security, all of which help ground student behavior. When students know what comes next, they're less likely to act out or become overwhelmed. The routine anchors their attention and their energy. For example, lunch and recess fell in the middle of one of my ELA blocks. I knew that once the students returned, they would need a routine that would give them a moment to regroup and refocus. So they entered the classroom. The lights were dim with soft music playing. Once everyone was settled, the light came back on and they knew to take out a book and read quietly for 5 minutes. That was just enough time for them to catch their breath, cool down, and get focused for the next task. Proactive move number 3, narrate the behavior you want. What you give your attention to grows. I spoke about this in my previous video, so think of this as a continuation. I will admit that I started this proactive move by chance, but it has now become a staple. Instead of calling out who's off task, spotlight who's on point. For example, I see Maya has her materials out and she's ready to go. Thank you, Maya. Call out 2 or 3 more like that. So does Riley and Seth. And the 2 that were actually off task will hopefully get the picture. Here's another example. Table 3 is tracking me and waiting silently for directions. Now, the table that I really needed to address is probably whispering and targeting the person that is keeping them from being recognized. See, you don't have to do all of the dirty work, your students will do it for you. This builds momentum and makes expectations visible in real time. Think of it as guidance disguised as encouragement. Proactive move number 4, pre-correct before the problem. This is your secret weapon. I feel like this is an old school parenting move that has been adopted for the classroom setting. Do you remember going to the store as a child and before you got out of the car, your mom would probably place her hand on the passenger seat and look over her shoulder and she would give you the speech. It went something like this. When we get in this store, don't ask for nothing, don't touch nothing, and act like you've been somewhere before. Well, this proactive move is the exact same thing. A pre-correction is a simple reminder before the moment of temptation. For example, before we head into the hallway, remember, voices are off, eyes are forward, and keep up with the person in front of you. When you remind before the behavior, you remove the, oh, I forgot excuse and reduce the need to correct after the fact. I sometimes even like to ask for the students to remind me of the expectations, so it's not always my voice that they actually hear. It also increases the awareness that you, in fact, do know what the expectations are. Proactive move number 5, designed for autonomy, not just compliance. Micromanaged students behave when watched. Empowered students behave because they know what to do. I'll admit I had to shift from saying my classroom to our classroom. Saying our classroom communicates that students are co owners of the space, not just passive participants in your environment. When students feel that the space belongs to them as well, they're more likely to self regulate and hold each other accountable, not just comply for the teacher. Give students predictable roles, peer checklists, or class jobs that are tied to routines. For example, table captains gather materials, a class timer manages transitions, early finisher board equals built in direction. Autonomy encourages ownership, resulting in fewer power struggles. The key is designing a classroom system that runs itself when you're not talking. These proactive moves are about releasing you to focus on teaching instead of micromanaging behaviors and controlling chaos. And when your systems are clear, consistent, and student centered, classroom behavior becomes predictable and manageable. If this video gave you an idea to try or it's confirmation that you're on the right track, go ahead and hit the like button. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 5 proactive moves are you going to lean into this week. And if you're ready to go deeper into building a sustainable classroom system that protects your energy and supports your students, check out the full series. I've got lots more coming. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.